Hello and welcome to Recyclist. It's Monday, March 10th, 2025. I'm your host, Eric Provost, and this is your weekly roundup of all the biggest news stories from the world of waste, gas, and energy presented by Diamond Scientific. First things first, and as always, let's take a quick look at the stock market and 5 stocks on the move from this past week in waste, gas, and energy. As of close of business last week, Evergy Incorporated was sitting at $65.69 per share. Clean Energy Fuels Corp was at $1.81 per share. Opal Fuels Incorporated had reached $2.32 per share. NextEra Energy found themselves at $72.97 per share, and Black Hills Corp finished the week at just over $60 at $60.02 per share. But moving into the news, we still have some crazy numbers coming out from the end of 2024, and it turns out that major public waste companies spent just shy of $11 billion in 2024 on mergers and acquisitions. Republic Services, Waste Connections, GFL Environmental, and Casella Waste Systems were among the heavy hitters who completed numerous deals throughout the course of the year. However, it was Waste Management's landmark acquisition of Stericycle in November to the tune of $7.2 billion that contributed far and away the largest to that yearly total. Largely thanks to that one deal, the industry was able to shatter its 2023 spending on mergers and acquisitions, which amounted to $4.2 billion. And up next, in Tennessee, a new proposed state law could wind up defining gasoline as a renewable energy source. Tennessee passed a law to define gas as clean energy in 2023, shortly after Ohio passed a law to define the fossil fuel as quote-unquote green energy. Tennessee's new bill would cover all the bases, defining gas as quote-unquote clean, green, and renewable, end quote. The expanded definition will also include the following energy sources: nuclear, hydrogen fuel, fuel cells, waste-to-energy facilities, crops grown for energy production, industrial byproduct technologies, waste heat, compressed air energy storage, biomass, and renewable natural gas. Clark Boyd, the sponsor of the bill, said, quote, "A few years ago in Tennessee, we created a list of clean energies and a list of renewable energies, and a lot of folks thought that just needed to be combined into a single list," end quote. And next, the American Biogas Council recently launched what they are calling their Biogas Carbon Accounting Tool, a new tool intended to help count the full life cycle emissions of biogas projects. The new tool was prepared for the American Biogas Council by Eco-Engineers, a clean energy consulting, auditing, and advisory firm, to help fill gaps that no other carbon tools could provide. By using the tool, biogas project developers can now accurately quantify carbon emissions data for companies that purchase renewable energy from biogas to meet their voluntary greenhouse gas reduction targets. This allows voluntary buyers to more accurately report their emission cuts to their customers and shareholders. Patrick Surfass, the executive director of the American Biogas Council, said, quote, "Thousands of companies, large and small, have already voluntarily committed to shrinking their carbon footprint and want to use renewable natural gas and biogas-generated electricity as one way to do so. Now we have a common way to properly account for the full life cycle emissions of biogas projects, each of which can vary substantially in how much methane and CO2 it reduces," end quote. And up next, Moat Incorporated, a technology company focused in carbon-negative energy production, announced this past week the successful first close of its Series A funding round, securing $7 million in investments led by Nella Next and Preston Werner Ventures. Moat's core breakthrough is its approach to energy production from wood waste with carbon capture, a form of biomass carbon removal and storage. The company's technology involves converting agricultural and forestry waste into clean hydrogen or other energy outputs, while permanently sequestering the highest proportion of carbon dioxide. With patented innovations that increase hydrogen production, enhance efficiency, and reduce emissions, Moat claims they offer a scalable solution that simultaneously strengthens domestic energy independence and supports forestry and land management while removing CO2 from the air. The CEO of Moat, Joshua Stolaroff, said, quote, "Moat addresses both sustainability and energy security, bringing critically needed innovation to the U.S. energy landscape. We've received broad support and expert endorsements over the years because of the strong fundamentals of our approach. This initial Series A investment reflects continued demand for carbon-negative energy solutions, reinforcing that clean energy can become economically viable and contribute to U.S. energy leadership." End quote. And just a quick reminder, Recyclist is a registered trademark of Diamond Scientific, an industry leader in gas analysis instrumentation and solutions. Make sure to visit them online at diamondsci.com. That's diamondsci.com, or you can even set up a personalized presentation by calling 321-223-7500. And now back to the news. Colorado's new proposed landfill methane rule may include first-ever provisions for the state. Colorado's Department of Public Health and Environment is pressing forward with a range of modifications to landfill gas emissions requirements, including earlier installation of gas collection and control systems and the adoption of technologies like aerial monitoring and biofilters. The draft rule aligns Colorado's rules more closely with states such as California, Washington, and Maryland that actually exceed federal requirements. Landfill operators, Waste Management, and Republic Services weighed in on the proposal during a technical advisory process last year, as have environmental justice groups. The department plans to submit its proposed rule to the state's Air Quality Control Commission in April. And up next, Plan ET Biogas USA recently celebrated a major milestone, having successfully delivered over 60 anaerobic digesters to clients in the U.S. in just 3 years. The 60-plus tanks delivered since 2021 are either in construction or in operation, and together make up a total of 32 projects across 10 U.S. states. Derek Hundert, the president of Plan ET Biogas USA, said, quote, "We are deeply committed to expanding domestic renewable energy that supports our rural economies and are excited to have reached this milestone alongside our clients. The dedicated team who helped create these builds deserves commendation for their outstanding achievements, which are contributing to sustainable energy production in the U.S." End quote. And next, Opal Fuels Incorporated recently announced it has entered into 5 new fuel station service agreements to support customer hauling operations in Canada. Opal Fuels will design, build, own, and operate these new stations, which are expected to be operational by the fourth quarter of 2025 and are supported by long-term fuel supply agreements. When operational, the 5 sites will collectively dispense approximately 3.85 million gasoline gallon equivalent per year, or approximately 40 million over the term of the contracts. The initiative also aligns with Opal Fuels' mission of quote-unquote cleaner, cheaper now, to provide cleaner, more affordable, low-carbon energy solutions. Adam Kimura, the co-CEO of Opal Fuels, said, quote, "We are enthusiastic about the potential for compressed natural gas and possibly renewable natural gas as a transportation fuel in Canada and are excited about these new stations. With the introduction of the new 15-liter natural gas engine, favorable economics of compressed natural gas versus diesel, and growing policy support for low-carbon fuels across Canada, the timing is right for this expansion." End quote. And lastly, Energia Incorporated has entered into agreements to upgrade the renewable energy anaerobic digester at the University of California, Davis. This facility processes food and grease trap waste into renewable energy, supporting California's environmental goals. The upgrade, supported by a grant from Cal Recycle, will enhance the facility's efficiency and reliability, generating over $7 million in revenue for Energia. This project highlights Energia's role in advancing renewable energy technology and its commitment to helping institutions like UC Davis achieve carbon neutrality. And that will do it for your Recyclist News Roundup for Monday, March 10th, 2025. I've been your host, Eric Provost, and we will see you back here next week for another brand new episode of Recyclist. Thank you.